Hello guys, welcome to my treats channel. This is my first video on this channel, and I decided to make my first video on this channel to be about the CAKESICLES. I chose my first video on this channel to be about CAKESICLES, my first time making CAKESICLEs, because I have some ideas for Halloween and my strawberries, and I have cake pops ideas as well, so I might be doing that soon, probably sometime this week. Now I do have a stand mixer, but I didn't want to take the whole stand mixer out because I was just experimenting with CAKESICLEs for the first time. So back to the actual video. I still grease the pan even though I know that it's a non-stick pan, because I just don't want the cake to stick onto the pan because it gets annoying to wash it off. Here I am making sure I get all the cake mix into the pan. In this clip, you will see me trying to get all the cake mix into the pan. That's just so nothing gets wasted, and I just get as much of the cake into there and get to use all of it. And I also gotta make sure that I'm moving the cake mix around in the pan just so it's in every corner. In this clip, you will see me poking holes with a fork into the cake, and that's just so the cake cools down faster. But you will see later in the other clips that I still use my hands just so I could air it out faster as well with my hands, just so I could work on the CAKESICLEs. As you can see here, the cake is still pretty hot, and you can see that I'm like showing you guys the crust, and that's because I did not cut around the cake while it's still in the pan and taking those crusts out. Like, you're not supposed to use that. Well, in my opinion, you're not supposed to use that because it leaves hard spots into the cake, and it's not really satisfying when you're trying to eat a cake pop or a CAKESICLE. I kept finding like a whole bunch of these pieces of the crust, and I was trying to break it apart as much as I can so it's not as bad when you're trying to eat the CAKESICLE. But when they were finished, I was still able to like feel the crust in there, like pieces of it, but it wasn't too bad. Okay, in this clip, I am still working it in. I'm still trying to grab pieces of the crust and just breaking it apart. But when I try to roll it up here, I am trying to see if it is forming in a ball, kind of, to see if it's able to be formed into the cake pop or the CAKESICLEs. Either one works. It still helps me figure out if I'm able to start putting in the frosting. And this is the part where I grab a glob of the frosting and put it on my glove. This is just the easiest way because I'm already working it in instead of grabbing a whole new spoon just to put in frosting, and it helps me know better when to stop adding the frosting, because you don't want too much because then it won't form into the mold when whatever mold you were using, or if you're trying to do cake pops, it won't hold if you add too much of the frosting. I never recorded me doing the actual molds, but I do show at the end here my results.